Okay, so still working out, reintegrating back into the mix here with the Vettius Valens anthology, and there's another thing I need to address. So when I was visiting the Kaylee Institute and with Jen's Art, and we were talking about Valens book one, I was like, why am I always in trouble? I've been in trouble since I translated this book, and she's like, well, you know why you're in trouble is because you said that the spirit of Vettius Valens visited you personally and said you were supposed to translate these books. And that is crazy, or whatever. I mean, I do have to say that astrology is a highly esoteric field, and there's a lot of psychic y people in this field. And part of being a good astrologer is being an intuitive person or a psychic. But so I just want to clear up, did I say that the spirit of Vettius Valens visited me? And what all about that? Absolutely, I said that because the spirit of Valens did visit me. Now, first of all, I have to tell you, I have a Pisces moon square Neptune. Okay, so moon at 14, Neptune at 14, moon in the 10th house. And I worked as a psychic for like 10 years. When I was first doing astrology readings, I would have psychic stuff happen all the time. And you have to understand, I had different transits to my moon Neptune at that time. I think I had the progressed sun sitting on it for several years. I had Pluto going over it. I've had several highly psychic transits. Currently, Saturn is going over my moon square Neptune, and I'm on psych meds. I'm on meds to basically curtail the psychicness of my chart. So the first response to the critique of that I'm crazy, and I said that the spirit of Valens entered my body, is that number one, I'm on psych meds now. I got officially diagnosed with schizophrenia, and I am on meds. So anyone who is worried about me being crazy can know that I'm on a med. Here, I'll show you my med. It's called pervenazine. Perfenazine. Yeah, it's for people who are schizophrenic. And schizophrenia runs in my family. So am I denying that that was crazy of me to say? No, I mean, schizophrenics have visioning issues. They see spirits, they see things that aren't there, whatever, and it's like that's absolutely what happens to me or happened to me on transits to my moon square Neptune. If since we're all astrologers here, we can agree that I have a highly psychic chart. Moon in Pisces, square Neptune. Have you ever heard of a more psychic square? Like, I'm sorry, but if I didn't have psychic occurrences, then my chart wouldn't be functioning. Now, I talked to my mom about this. Well, first of all, let me tell you the story about when the spirit of Vettius Valens entered my body. So I was sitting in this room with my old girlfriend Ash, who was the editor for the Valens anthologies. A lot of people in astrology know Ash. I haven't seen Ash forever. If anyone knows Ash, please send them to me because I want to see them. I know they transitioned into an interdimensional space apparition, so maybe they're not available to be seen. Anyway, so I was in the room with Ash, my partner at the time, and there must have been some question about like, am I supposed to translate these things, or I don't really know. But all I remember is my crown chakra started like spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and like the spirit like came down through the top of my head. It was pretty much like, you are supposed to do this. Like, this is Vettius Valens, and you are supposed to do this. And I was just like, oh, like, oh, like crazy spirit visitation. And it came in through my crown chakra into my head, is how I remember it. So after talking to Jenzer, I called my mom because, I'm just like, mommy, I got called crazy again or whatever. and, but, I am crazy because I have schizophrenia. So it's kind of like, I'm sorry. My first thing would be an apology. I want to make an amends to the astrology community. I'm sorry for being crazy. That was actually out of my control. I didn't mean to be born that way. I'm just a little nuts. And am I a viable person to work and be in the community now? Absolutely, because on my meds, I'm not crazy. I never have psychic things happen. I can't feel an aura anymore. Like, I'm like so sane. It's awesome. Like, I'm like, why didn't I go on this med earlier? And I think because I wouldn't be me. Like, I was forced on the med. I was in the hospital for a month and like they literally forced me on meds. But anyway, I'm super thankful. So my mom, who's a wonderful PR person, she was a mayor of our town for 21 years. She said the best thing. She was like, "Well, Andy, many people have said things like this in history. They've said things like the 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 dead spirit of XYZ person has inspired me greatly in my studies, or, this person's spirit has inspired me greatly. And so it's like, okay, so let's make it like a normal PR sentence. We could be like, the spirit of Vettius Valens greatly inspired Andy to keep going. Okay, so that's like the normal PR sentence. So let's just do that sentence. I don't know. Um, do I think it made me less able to translate the books well, or do you think that my translations are not real because of that? Absolutely not. My chart, it's visions at the 14th degree, and at the 28th degree, it's totally sane. So at the 28th degree, I have a Sun, Mercury, Saturn, Mars. And Saturn's in the third house of studying things. And, I wrote my first textbook at my Saturn return, when Saturn was in the third house on my Saturn. And I was totally sane at that point, no visions. And so basically, at the 28th to the second degree, I'm totally sane. I'm doing like this mathematical calculative thing of translating literally mathematically. Like, I didn't channel the texts. I was not like sitting around like like channeling or speaking in tongues. Like, that's not how I did the text. I did it at my 28th degree, when I was totally sane, not hallucinating, not visioning at all. Just actually doing this mathematical Sun, Saturn, Mercury, Mars thing. So I actually learned Greek when Pluto was in Sag, trine my Saturn in the third house. So it took me like 2 or 3 years of that Pluto transit, and I learned ancient Greek at that time. So all the translations have been done at my 28th degree. In fact, the last push of them was when Uranus was at um, 28 Aries, I think it was. And then Jupiter and Libra hit the whole thing, and I did 4.5 books in like 6 months. It was crazy. But yeah, like my chart makes textbooks at the 28th degree, and it visions the 14th degree. So they like the vision of Valens, or the Valens spirit, came in to me at 14 to keep me going, to keep me manifesting that thing. But did it do the translations? No. And it was only once. It was just a 1 day occurrence. So, um, yeah, I mean, yes, the spirit of Vettius Valens visited me. Does this make me unable to do the work? No, I think it means I was meant to do the work. Now, whether that was my own mind hallucinating, or it was actually the spirit of Vettius Valens, I'll never know. Um, but what I do know is that that vision was one of several visions that carried me through to the end of the Valens anthology. I had another vision when I'd only had 4.5 books done, and I've been working on it for like 12 years, and I was like 39 years old, and I almost died from this surgery. And I was laying in a bed for 4 months, and I had visions. Like, I went somewhere. I almost died, and I went and I visioned. And in the visions, it said, you're going to finish the Valens anthology by the time you're 40. And I was 39 and a half. And I was like, there is no freaking way. There's no way. But it was a vision. It wasn't like a thought. It was a vision. And so I woke up, and I literally got to work because the transits, and in 6 months we powered out the next 5.5 books. And so how is that possible? Well, I had to read several other books in order to finish Valens. I had to read Ensoulment, which was about how the soul gets in the body. It's all about teleology. I really needed to know teleology theory. I also think I read, there's a few other things I read, the Bible in Greek. There was a few other things I read that then informed me to be able to go and finish Valens. Couldn't quite understand what he was saying, and then when I learned these other things, I could go in. It was mainly teleology that allowed me, because they talks about telos constantly, and I just didn't understand what a telos was. So, anyways, now I full on understand teleology, and I'm just like, these guys were teleologists. In fact, astrology was called apotelesmatica, which telos is the root word. So, anyway, yeah. So yes, the spirit of Valens did visit me. Am I crazy? Absolutely. Is my translation sound of mind? Yes. Yes, it is. My translation happened at the 28th degree, and if you want to see my chart, I will share it with you, and you will be horrified that one person was made in this way. Ah. I have like the worst, hardest chart ever. Anyways, have a good day.